pillar is again visible, you have the pavilion in the background, but actually there is visibility rather than what there was. And actually one of the proposals that later came through was Professor Tawari's proposal from the Institute of Engineering that began to look at this in terms of where the focus is. And again, this is Jean-Francois Milou's idea of a golden pavilion in a garden. This was one of the ideas that began to come up towards the end of that ITM. Also reiterated at that point were these sets: non-intrusive, reversible, shelter, visibility, focus, access, worship, and authentic materials. They've very much been in place since '97. Question is, are they still viable? Are they still as current as they were then? And also, when we were there before with the ITM, we had no real knowledge of the earlier phases or of the styles. Now we know very clearly what the Ahsokan structure looked like. We know very clearly what the pre-Ahsokan structure looked like, where we had a tree and just a platform with a curb in the center. And then, of course, for the very earliest 6th century BCE, we know we have a simple tree, we know we have a simple sort of timber structure. So it's not where we were all those years ago, because now we actually know the sequence, we know the materials as well. So my sort of starter prompt for the next session is, we have the challenges of the stability of the exposed archaeological remains within the shelter, and those are key for the protection. We have the marker stone and nativity image, which are key elements. We also have the Ahsokan pillar, and then we have the other archaeological remains. And of course we have to remember that even that JBF excavation had not happened before nomination. So the inscription doesn't actually mention the marker stone. And the issues that will come up are ones: what can we rebury? What can we not? Reburial slows the rate of degradation, of decay. We know that. So the question is, do we rebury? Do we not rebury? Is it permanent? Is it temporary? Then, can we use facsimiles? Can we use copies? Can we use the most up-to-date scans for material? Should some of the materials be moved to alternative locations? And then finally, it's just that prompt there, that we now know something that we didn't know before. We know what the Ahsokan temple looked like. We know what the earlier temples looked like. So should that inform our next steps? And so now I'm delighted to hand over, and I hope that was short enough.
Just before you finish, I would like to ask, what is in your mind when you say, for some of material find alternative location? What are those? Can it?
Yes. In terms of, for example, in Durham, we have elements of St. Cuthbert's coffin, which is a timber coffin, and it dates from about 700 CE. It's decorated with wonderful things. It is in a special museum attached to the cathedral under specialist conservation, temperature and light controls, because it is so vulnerable. So the question is, are things left in situ, or are some things removed? And are they removed to a temple? Are they removed to a museum? And then you've got, or a safe repository. So that's the question of, actually, can things be removed? Must things be in situ? Can they be removed temporarily or permanent? It's just to try and understand those, the elasticity of those.
Yeah.
I have one
Yes.
Question for my side. You mentioned about the in inscription there is no mention about the marker stone.
I didn't say that. No, sorry. In the inscription, I meant in the UNESCO World Heritage inscription, there is no mention of the marker stone.
In the inscription of the
In the World Heritage terminology inscription. Some people suggest that the sila mentioned in the inscription is linked to the marker stone, but some scholars disagree with that. But within UNESCO World Heritage listing, the marker stone was only found subsequently. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, may I request Dr. Vaidi